Hello, everybody. This is Matthew Brand. Thanks for tuning in. Now, today's talk is about the cornerstone of love. If you aren't familiar with the cornerstones, basically they were power, love, pleasure, and position. However, love, I said, was the most important. But let's talk about the definition of it in terms of the cornerstones. Love is the people you sacrifice for. It's the people that sacrifice for you, and ultimately, it's the inspiration for all the other cornerstones. Some people could give a damn about the money, right? They don't give a damn about the money because what good is the money if you don't have anybody to share it with? They could give a damn about going out and doing a bunch of stuff. They're happy sitting on the couch or the cold, hard floor with somebody they love, rather than going out and doing a bunch of fancy stuff by themselves or with nobody who cares about them, or being in a room full of people who don't give a care that much for them. They didn't give a damn about all that stuff. They want somebody who cares for them, whether it be a friend, a family, or a spouse. So that being said, how do you obtain that kind of love in your life? People who are willing to sacrifice for you, people who need you, people that make life worth living. Well, first, you need to make that sacrifice for power. I've talked before, said that power attracts love. That's because it provides the proof that you're willing to go the distance for that other person. They know that you're willing to, they can feel protected around you. They can feel like you can put them first. Because how can you put them first if you're not even willing to go up and do stuff to make yourself stronger? How much do you care about other people if you're not even willing to get up, and you have to have some proof that you give a damn anyway. Because if you get power by doing stuff for people, right? Whether you do it because it's a job or you do it because it's just your life. Some people are born into power, but other people, they get up and they work hard for it because that they care about those other people. And when that proof isn't there, that love dwindles. That's why it's hard for people to take you seriously if all you do is like, oh no, that's too much work. Oh, that I can't do stuff like that. Oh, that's too much for me. Oh, that's not the kind of person I am. I can't do that. If you keep saying I can't and I can't and I can't, those words are detriment to kinds of power. And if you don't have any power or anything that you can use to be helpful to people, even if it's just looking good, some people, they like that you go out their way, or they like that you go out your way to look good for them because it uplifts them when they go out and walk around. They like that you can fix on a car because when their car breaks down, you can go out and help fix on that car for them. They like that you work hard for money because when they're short on money, you're there for them. They know that they have somebody who has their back. But you can't have somebody's back if you're not willing to work for the power to do so. The second thing is get rid of should, shouldn't, and supposed to. Do what people want, right? And I'm not saying you have to go around and do what everybody wants, but do what they want in exchange for them doing stuff you want, right? Because people don't do what they should and shouldn't do, and that's just going to make you mad if you focus on that. That's a fantasy. That is a concept. What you're supposed to or whatever. That's a concept. You do what you want to get what you want. Most people will. And if they love you, they're willing to do it because they want to make you happy. But in order for them to want to make you happy, you have to want to make them happy, not just expect them to do it because it's their job or they're supposed to or whatever. Even you notice when people do something, they're really quick to do it because, oh, if it's at their job, oh, I have to do it. But they do it because the job pays them. They get something out of it. But a rewarding relationship will pay you far more than any job. Okay, it's worth the weight and go is worth more than any money you could put a dollar sign on. You can't replace that person if it's a good, rewarding relationship. You can't replace people you love. You can't replace a child. You can't replace your parents. You can't replace your husband or your wife. People try to, but that person is a unique. There's no one else in the world like them. So if you're willing to throw them in the trash, you're not going to get a new one ordered in the mail. So you need to do things for them that they want, not expect them to do things because they're supposed to. You can negotiate and stuff like that, but don't expect them to do it just because you're like, oh, well, that's your role or whatever. That it doesn't work like that. And three, work towards your standard of love for empathy's sake. For example, if you have, let's say you expect them to come up and approach you and talk to you and schmooze you, right? They're supposed to do that, or they're supposed to cook, or they're supposed to work out and look good, or they're supposed to make all the money. Do you work hard to do the same thing? If not, you're putting expectations on them not only that you don't have, but that you're not even willing to work towards. Now it's a whole different ball game or a whole different scenario entirely when you fit that bill and they don't. And that comes into should, shouldn't, and supposed to, right? Like if you want somebody who looks good because you look good, that's a standard. I'm not saying I can't put that on you. I would say that you shouldn't always hold to that standard so tightly, but that's completely different, and that's something you have to work out with yourself how important it is to you than you wanting somebody to meet a level of expectation that you don't even try to achieve, that you don't even work towards, right? It's very damning to have somebody, and toxic too, toxic to have somebody do something or push somebody to do something that you're not even willing to do yourself. Everybody hears that. You can't lead somebody to do something that you're not willing to do yourself. I'm not making all these things I'm saying have been said for thousands of years. There's just nothing new under the sun. But the point is, people tend to stray away from it for nuance or what's socially acceptable at the time, and they shoot themselves in the foot because they're not getting what they want out of it. So if you have a hard time obtaining love, and you're not following those three things, sacrificing for power, getting rid of should, shouldn't, and supposed to, and working towards your standards or your standards, then that's going to, if not make it detrimental to you getting love, is going to make what you have worse off. Also, a lot of people have a hard time finding a spot to find love, like if you're looking for a spouse or something, right? If you're looking for a lover. And I don't know if people who are clicking on this or looking at this or listening to this were hoping to find this explanation. Maybe didn't get to it yet and clicked off. But if you did make it this far and you're like, oh, I want love, but I don't know where to find somebody, to love. It's not real. I'm not reeling it in. I've got the stuff to share with people, but I'm not in that position. Well, you need to take time to have some type of extracurricular activity where you meet people. Doesn't have to be people you love, but at least other people so you can make friends and make people who love you. That way they can hook you up with somebody, right? The more people you know, the more they can hook you up. But you want somebody who loves you. If you're just hanging out with people or whatever, yeah, sometimes they can give you a hookup on someone to love. But most people, the vast majority of people, believe it or not, find their lovers, despite all this online social media and stuff, they find their lovers either through a friend or through like a party thrown by a friend or something like that. That's where most people meet their spouse, the person they spend the rest of their life with. Whether it be a blind date or something like that, they meet it through someone else. Yeah, you can meet people on social media. I've met fantastic people on dating sites and stuff like that. But the most important thing you want to keep in mind is to be prepared when you do meet that person, because opportunities for love are going to come up all the time. You can walk through a busy area and you will find tons of people, and you can conversate with dozens of people in one day, and some of them are going to be single. Some of them are going to be people you like. Go around places that fit the standards that you want in a relationship. Like if you like people that fit churchy standards, go and hang out and do extracurricular activities at church. Doesn't mean you'll find your girl at church, or doesn't mean you'll meet her there while you're there. Maybe someone else in the church knows someone there who can hook you up. If you like girls who like going out and partying or something like that, or guys who like going out and having a good time, go out and go to clubs and stuff and find people who like to have that type of good time. However, there is a caveat. Every single person or every single type or whatever you're looking for usually has a downside. I don't care how you like looking at it. They have a downside that a lot of people don't like fitting or meeting. For example, if you like church girls, you might find out that, hey, you might end up waiting a long time before you get to the dirty mamba. They might make you wait, or depending on what kind of church you go to, you might find a lot of people who've had did a lot of crazy stuff, and now they're in church trying to make up for it or something like that. You have those two types of avenues. It doesn't matter what kind of person you're looking for. There are downsides to it, or there is a cost to everything. Everything has a downside. Even love has a downside. Because even though you have somebody to do all this stuff with and enjoy life with and all that stuff, I gave you in the definition, love are people you're willing to sacrifice for. They're people who are willing to sacrifice for you, but it's people you sacrifice for. There's a sacrifice there. If you have children or whatever, you know that you put them first, not you. There's some nuanced crap in the news or whatever. No, you don't do that. If something's going to attack your child, you put yourself in front of your child. You don't like, well, I got to make sure I'm safe first. No, you don't do that. You put yourself in front of the child. If you have somebody that means more to you than life, like if I would rather be dead than live my life without them, you put yourself in front of that danger. You know you do. And that's the sacrifice that you make. When people go out there and put themselves in front of a bullet or in front of a problem for you, you need to appreciate that, because that doesn't come free. And it's the same goes for you. If you want love in your life, you have to recognize that there's a sacrifice there and you need to make it. But like I said, everything comes with a downside, but that doesn't mean that the upside isn't worth it. You just have to choose the downs you're willing to be okay with and balance that with the ups that you want. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. God bless you. I hope you leave a like and a subscribe, comment, something to help out boost this up, because the more people that can get this information, the more it makes the world a better place. Whether you agree with it or not, you can comment and let me know if you disagree with it. However, the point is, the better the world is, the better all of us are off. And if the information, goes out there, unless somebody's, trying to convince people to commit genocide, the discussion is what's most important. Getting these ideas and understandings out there so we can all understand each other is the most important, because it sets avenues up and opportunities up to make things better for everybody. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, and God bless you.